You know, every single construction project out there really has two blueprints. One is for the building itself, all the concrete and steel. But the other one, that's the human blueprint. And today, we're going to dig into that human side of things to figure out what really makes a project a huge success or a spectacular failure.
So let's be real for a second. Have you ever been stuck on the project from hell? You know exactly the one I'm talking about, the one where absolutely everything that could possibly go wrong does. We've all heard the horror stories, and let's face it, a lot of us have the scars to prove it.
And the symptoms, they're always spookily familiar, aren't they? The schedule, that's completely shot. Morale is buried somewhere in the basement. Safety incidents are starting to pop up. The owner is beyond frustrated. And you've got scope changes flying in from every direction. It's just a total nosedive into chaos. Sound familiar at all?
Now, when we're drowning in all that mess, something really predictable starts to happen to our leadership. The entire way we manage our teams begins to change, fundamentally. So, look, under normal circumstances, when things are going smoothly, the best managers are democratic. They ask for input, they share authority, they build trust. It's all about collaboration. But the second that project goes into full-blown crisis mode, poof, all that goes right out the window. We flip the switch to autocratic, just dictating tasks, demanding people fall in line, and taking complete top-down control. It's a massive shift from collaborator to commander. But here's the key. And this is probably the most important takeaway of all. That sudden shift to being a dictator, that's not the cause of the project's failure. It's a reaction. It's a survival instinct kicking in to fight the real disease that's been quietly spreading all along: unresolved conflict. And this conflict, it isn't just one big thing. It's the little stuff. It's the fight over who gets the crane next. It's that critical piece of information that gets lost in an email chain for 3 days. It's arguing over payment schedules, or two foremen who totally disagree on how to tackle a problem. Every single one of these is like a tiny spark that, if you don't put it out, can burn the whole project right to the ground. And when these conflicts are just left to simmer, the consequences are absolutely brutal and, very expensive. This isn't just about hurt feelings. We're talking about a direct hit to the bottom line. You've got major delays, massive cost overruns, morale that's just tanking, and way more safety risks. And at the end of the day, it's a huge blow to your company's entire reputation. Okay, so if unresolved conflict is the disease, then what's the antidote? How do we basically vaccinate our projects to keep them from spiraling into this kind of chaos? Well, the antidote is a skill, and it's called emotional intelligence, or EI for short. To put it simply, it's about being able to recognize, understand, and manage emotions. Not just your own, but your team's too. It's what helps you navigate the insane pressures of a job site and build a way more productive team. And make no mistake, emotional intelligence isn't some abstract, feel-good concept. It has one very real, very specific job on a construction site: to build incredibly effective teams by creating something called team cohesion. So what in the world is team cohesion? Well, it's a super powerful mix of two things. First, everyone is totally committed to the project's goal. And second, the relationships between the people on the team are actually strong. It means you trust the person working next to you just as much as you trust the blueprint you're both building from. And the payoff for building this cohesion? It is massive. Better communication. That leads directly to fewer mistakes. Stronger relationships mean way better coordination between different trades. Higher morale means people actually stick around. And maybe most important of all, when there's trust, problems get solved in minutes, not days. The really cool thing is you can actively build this. It doesn't have to be anything complicated. Simple little activities, like the Marshmallow Challenge, that test how well a team can plan and create something under pressure. Or the Blind Build Challenge, which is a perfect and kind of funny way to show just how critical clear verbal communication is out on the job. But here's the catch. You can have the best leader in the world and the most connected team ever, but if you throw them into a broken system with chaotic communication and terrible tools, you are still setting them up to fail. To really, truly succeed, a great team absolutely needs a great system to support them. And a huge piece of that system comes down to effective delegation. But real delegation isn't just about barking orders. It's about setting crystal clear expectations, giving your team the freedom to actually do their job, and keeping the lines of communication wide open. And honestly, modern technology is what makes all of that possible to do efficiently. There's a fantastic quote about this from Andrew Paradiges. He says that empowering your team with that autonomy, that's what really creates that deep sense of ownership and engagement that pushes a project forward. It's so true. This is exactly why the old ways of managing projects just don't cut it anymore. It is past time to get rid of the scattered spreadsheets, the messy email chains, and those chaotic WhatsApp groups where critical info just goes to get lost forever. The solution is to digitalize your entire workflow. And this, right here, is where a platform like Lementai provides that great system we've been talking about, the one that lets great teams actually do great work.
Think of Lementai as your project's digital blueprint. It pulls all your communication into one place. It lets you assign and track tasks with total transparency. You can manage all your documents and resources right there. And it finally seamlessly connects the field and the office. It's the system that's actually built to support the people. And you can see exactly how this works for your team. Just head on over to lementai.com to get started for free. And of course, a huge thank you to the fantastic team at Lementai for making this whole explainer possible. So I want to leave you with one final thought to take to your next big project meeting. Is your success really riding on the strength of your team's relationships and their skills? Or are you just relying on hard hats and hoping for the best? Something to think about. Thanks so much for joining me.